Hey guys, I figured I'd do a commentary over my average of 12 here. I've never done a commentary before, so leave a comment, let me know if I've done a good job on this, so I know to keep doing them or not doing them, or did you learn anything, all that kind of stuff. If you like this video, thumbs up it. First thing I'd like to talk about is my cross. Now, I've never videotaped myself and watched myself cube before. Like, I've always judged myself from the initial solve of the cube when I actually am there and solving the cube. When I look back at watching myself cube, I'm not as slow as I thought I was. Like 25.76 here. That is one of my better times, to be honest. Usually I'm around 30, 29 or something like that. I think my personal best is 22.75. Yeah, it's somewhere around 22.75. But anyways, looking back at what I've been doing here, I've actually gotten a lot better at the cross. A lot of the time I do take my 15 seconds to inspect, but a lot of the solves in here I actually don't have to, and I'm surprised by that because when you're actually cubing and it's in front of you and you're in the moment of it, you don't actually pay attention to how much time you're doing if you've never timed yourself. Now, if you have a stack mat timer and you're constantly timing yourself, you do have an idea. But I've been cubing for I don't know, a couple of years now. Not a lot of it is on 3x3, but the time that I have spent on 3x3, I've never, timed myself. So so it's quite a shock to me um, of how fast I was actually getting at some things. I think where my downfall is, why I can't, it's hard for me to break this 25 to 30 second barrier and get under that for an average, is because I think I'm moving too fast. I've got my basics down for my finger tricks and all those kind of things. So when I'm doing my F2L, it's just my biggest problem right now. It's taking the longest. I think what's happening is I'm finding my corner, I'm finding my edge, I'm finding out how to match them up in that order, and then I'm finding out where I need to insert them. Now, once I figure all that out, I should be able to do that. And in doing that, I should be looking ahead and finding two other pieces. Another corner and another edge to pair up for my second F2L and from my second then my third and so on and so on. But I think what's happening is I'm not at that level yet where I can move the cube around that fast and track pieces. So I think I'm getting better, at finding my first corner and edge to do an F2L. And then I figure out how to put it together and where to go. So I do that really fast, and I'm not really looking ahead for the next piece. So you'll see that I'll put one in and I'll pause. See, let's watch this one. Okay, so I'm finishing my cross here. Hopefully this isn't one of my bad solves. Cross is done. F2L, first one there. See me looking around the cube for the next one? Now I'm looking around again. Now let's take a look. Okay, now my F2L is done. Anyways, that one wasn't too bad, but you can see what I'm talking about, where I insert a piece and then I look around the cube more. Well, if you want to be extremely good, you shouldn't have to do that. You shouldn't have to do cube rotations very much. You shouldn't, have a big pause. If you think about it, you put in an F2L pair and it takes you 2 seconds to find your second one, and then 2 more seconds to find your third one, and 2 more seconds. So that's 8 seconds you've added on for 2 seconds each times 4 pairs, right? So it adds up over time. And so if I got better at F2L, maybe I just need to slow down. I don't know, like, do you guys have this problem too, where you're looking and you're trying to find pieces and then you see them and then you put it in as fast as you can because you want a good time, and then all of a sudden you don't know where your next pair is. You got to look around and you're wasting all this time. Like, did you guys have this go on for you and then you worked through it? Did you acknowledge it? See, this is one of my really bad solves here. It's going to be it's probably my worst solve in a long time. Anyways, yeah, did you guys have that where, you had this threshold that you had to kind of get over, and you knew what the problem was? It's just, you're stuck in this habit of moving so fast. But moving so fast, you can't recognize things when you're not so experienced. So am I the only one that has this happening? And if I'm not, how did you guys get through that? I mean, did you just work through it over time, or what happened? So now that I know the problem, I'm going to start working on that. I'm I'm gonna see what I can do about it. See if I can get a little faster at F2L, because I can shave up to 10 seconds off my time if I wanted, you know, at least 8 seconds, because I looked around and it's about an average of 2 seconds per F2L pair, right? So if I do a solve that takes, say, 25 seconds, I can go down to 17 if I learn how to just look ahead a little further, maybe even slow down. I've heard that slowing down with your F2L and not stopping is actually faster than going fast and then looking, then fast and looking. I believe that. I think that's true. So another thing that I've also noticed as well is with my PLLs, now I have memorized all of my 21 finally. But before I did, you know, there was like 3 or 4 that I didn't really know. And so I just use an A perm, and that would put it into a different permutation. And still, now that I know them, I find myself, my habit is still to do that A perm when I get to certain algorithms and turn it into something else. But man, is that ever just wasting so much time. So it's all like recognition, you know. I got to be able to recognize it and not let it overwhelm me in the heat of the moment. You know, it's just, I got to breathe like I just did there and take it slow and figure it out. Maybe I'm overanalyzing it. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure that every cuber who's wanting to get faster is going to go through this mind frame at some point or another. Am I wrong? Like, I've gone through a few different ones. You know, when I went from the beginner technique into my F2L, and then into advanced F2L and advanced cross stuff. And now after that, it's look ahead. You know, there's stages you go through, and there's things you don't understand about each stage, and it's totally perfectly natural. But you know, I don't really have any cubing friends. You know, I don't hang out with other cubers. I sit at home in a cube, and I occasionally go to the cube meet in Vancouver, British Columbia, where I live, and I see people, but I don't really have anyone to talk to about these things. So basically, all questions I have are answered by my own ignorant opinion. And I know that there's the internet out there too, and that's a really good resource. I mean, that's how I found everything to do with cubing, aside from actually picking up the first cube in the first place. But everything I've ever learned is from the internet. And I know that I can ask people on there, which is kind of what I'm doing right now. You know, I'm making this video, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to do a commentary, because yeah, I want to do videos so people can, you know, learn how to cube, and I've got some tutorials, and I've got all this new stuff coming up, and I've got some good ideas for videos that are coming up too. I think will be pretty original. But I'm also putting up videos like this solve here, these average of 12. This isn't going to help anybody. This is going to maybe help them be more motivated to cube and inspiration if they're slower than this. But other than that, I want to put this video up so I can get opinions on how I'm doing better as well. I want to interact with people, and I think this is a good way to do it. And on that note, that is the end of the solves. So my worst time here is 49.49 seconds. I had a really bad cross, and I screwed it up as well. My best time is 23.28, which is my second personal best I've ever had, so I'm glad I got that on tape. And my current average of 12 is 27.29 seconds, which is a lot better than last week's 31.04. I have been practicing a lot, though, and I think I might do an average of 12 once a week, with commentary as well. Maybe. Let me know if you guys like this or not. I don't see anyone else doing commentaries over these, so maybe it's something new for you guys to watch. Anyway, I'll see you next video.